continuing the story of Nehemiah today. We've already seen how God helped Nehemiah show initiative in a big way. Let's recap where we've been so far. At first, Nehemiah was living in the land of Persia. But then he heard that the city walls of Jerusalem were broken down, which meant that God's people there had no protection. Nehemiah decided to travel to Jerusalem. When he got there, he saw the broken down walls for himself. He knew that somebody had to do something. So he talked to the people, and they agreed to help him rebuild. There was a problem, though. The people in the lands around Jerusalem weren't very happy about Nehemiah's rebuilding project. They knew that if the wall of Jerusalem was rebuilt, the Jewish people would be able to defend themselves again. Two men in particular, named Sanballat and Tobiah, laughed and made fun of God's people as they worked on the wall. But Nehemiah kept his cool and stayed calm. He trusted God. He didn't let Sanballat and Tobiah distract him. You see, Nehemiah had a plan. Nehemiah gave each family or group a part of the wall to rebuild.
We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family.
Sanballat and Tobiah were shocked to see the people making progress on the wall. They made fun of the workers and said mean things about them. But Nehemiah didn't listen to those guys. Instead, he prayed to God. The people worked with all their heart, and they rebuilt the wall until it was half as high as they wanted it to be. They were making progress. Sanballat and Tobiah tried to plan with the other nations to attack Jerusalem before the walls could be finished. Nehemiah put guards in place day and night. Still, the people were exhausted. There were broken stones in the way, and they had to worry about being attacked at any moment. So Nehemiah took initiative. Nehemiah stationed families at the weakest parts of the wall, armed with swords, spears, and bows.
We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family.
The people carried weapons even as they worked. They had trumpets to sound an alarm if there was trouble. They worked until the wall was finished, but they still had to fix the entrance gates. Sanballat sent a message to Nehemiah asking him to meet. But Nehemiah knew that Sanballat meant to harm him, so he sent a message back. This comes from Nehemiah. I'm working on a huge project, so I can't get away. Why should the work stop while I leave it? Why should I go down and talk with you? Sanballat sent the same message 4 times. He kept trying to get Nehemiah to meet so he could distract him. But every time, Nehemiah refused. Sanballat then sent the same message again. And he even threatened to tell the Persian king that Nehemiah was trying to make himself king. So Nehemiah sent a message back to Sanballat, basically saying, "Nope, you're making that up." But Sanballat still wasn't done. Sanballat hired a man named Shemaiah to try to trick Nehemiah. This man, Shemaiah, told Nehemiah that he should run and hide because men were coming to kill him. But Nehemiah saw right through the trick. He said he wouldn't hide. He trusted God and kept working. On the 52nd day of work, the wall and gates were finally finished. Because of Nehemiah and his leadership, the families of Jerusalem had completed the job they had set out to do.
We are family. I got all my sisters with me. We are family.
The wall was completed in record time by a group of ordinary, everyday people. It was clear to everyone that God had helped Nehemiah and the people stay focused and finish strong. That's a good lesson for the rest of us too. When there's a job to do, we need to take initiative. We need to remember that God is with us. We need to do this. It's our bottom line. Stay focused on what needs to be done. That's something we can see when we look at the way Jesus lived. There was a lot that could have distracted Jesus from doing what he'd come to do. Die on the cross for our sins. But Jesus stayed focused on what was the most important. He had come to save the world and make it possible for us to have a relationship with God forever. So when there's something you need to do, don't let things distract you. Don't let people who are making unwise choices distract you. Ask God to help you. Stay focused on what needs to be done. Thanks so much for tuning in.